It's 3 a.m. You're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. Your mind is running through every financial disaster that could destroy you tomorrow. Car breaks down, laptop dies, you lose your job. Sound familiar? What if I told you there's one specific number that makes almost all of that anxiety disappear? Not $1 million, not $100,000, just $10,000. And the transformation it creates has almost nothing to do with the money itself. Before we talk about $10,000, let's talk about what life looks like without it. You're at the grocery store, mentally calculating whether you can afford the name brand cereal. Your friend suggests dinner, and you make up an excuse because $25 would wreck your entire week. Every unexpected expense feels like a countdown to catastrophe. This is what financial experts call the scarcity mindset, and it doesn't just affect your bank account. It affects your brain. Studies show that financial stress consumes the same cognitive bandwidth as losing 13 IQ points. You literally think less clearly when you're broke. Every decision becomes a calculation. Every opportunity feels like a risk you can't afford to take. You're playing permanent defense with your money, and you never get to go on offense. The transformation that happens when you hit $10,000 isn't financial. It's neurological. Neuroscientists have found that financial security directly reduces cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone, which means $10,000 in your bank account doesn't just change your finances. It literally changes your body chemistry. Remember that check engine light? When you have zero savings, it might as well be a countdown to disaster. You're already calculating which credit card to use, whether you can borrow from family, how long you can ignore it before the car dies completely. Same check engine light with $10,000 saved. Annoying. That's it. Just annoying. That shift from panic to mild annoyance sounds small, but it ripples through your entire life. You sleep better, you make better decisions at work, you're more patient with the people you love. You have mental energy left over to actually think about your future instead of just surviving the present. Here's something most finance channels never tell you. The hardest part of saving $10,000 is not the math, it's the identity. Most people treat saving like a crash diet. They cut everything aggressively for 3 months, hit a wall, and go right back to their old habits. But the people who actually reach $10,000 don't think of saving as a temporary sacrifice. They start thinking of themselves as someone who saves money. That identity shift changes everything. When you see yourself as a saver, you start noticing things you never saw before. Small expenses that were invisible suddenly stand out. Creative income opportunities that seemed irrelevant now feel worth pursuing. You start thinking 6 months ahead instead of 6 days ahead. And here's the beautiful part. Saving the first $1,000 is brutal. It requires real sacrifice. But saving the second $1,000 is easier. By the fifth or sixth $1,000, it starts to feel almost automatic because you're not fighting your habits anymore. You've become someone with different habits. Let's talk about what $10,000 actually covers in the real world. Car repair. Most automotive emergencies cost between $500 and $3,000. With $10,000 saved, your car problem goes from financial disaster to inconvenience. Medical emergency. Most urgent care visits, ER trips, and minor procedures fall under this number. Not major surgery, but the vast majority of health surprises you'll actually face. Job loss. $10,000 gives you roughly 3 to 6 months of breathing room, depending on your expenses. That's enough time to be selective about your next opportunity instead of desperately accepting the first offer that appears. But here's what nobody talks about. $10,000 doesn't just protect you from disasters. It creates opportunities that literally didn't exist before. A certification course that costs $2,000 but adds $10,000 to your annual salary becomes an obvious yes. A business opportunity from a trusted friend becomes something you can actually consider. Options that were invisible to you before suddenly become real. There's something else that happens when you have $10,000 saved that nobody warns you about. Your confidence changes. You walk into job interviews differently when you don't desperately need the position. You negotiate your salary instead of accepting whatever they offer. You're willing to walk away from bad deals because you're not operating from fear. You stop making decisions from panic and start making them from clarity. Financial stress is one of the leading causes of insomnia, relationship breakdown, and career stagnation. Removing that stress doesn't just improve your finances, it improves your sleep, your relationships, and your ability to think clearly about literally everything. The person with $10,000 saved and a $40,000 salary is often building wealth faster than the person earning $100,000 with nothing saved. Because the skill that matters most in wealth building is not earning money, it's keeping it. $10,000 is not a finish line, it's a starting line. It's the point where you stop playing defense with your money and start going on offense, where decisions stop being about survival and start being about strategy, where you stop reacting to life and start designing it. Start small, stay consistent. The person you become while saving your first $10,000 is worth more than the money itself. If this gave you clarity, follow the channel. We break down the financial realities they never taught you in school.